Hi guys, welcome back to my run on Shadowrun Returns.
You need new replacement windows, but you're just not sure if they're in the budget this year, right? I'm Brian Berry here with Ted Coons from Renewal by Anderson, and he's here to talk about how to make window replacement more affordable.
Well, first, Brian, you don't have to do them all. You could just replace your worst windows first. Or another way to make them affordable is to change the style of window. For example, you could do a sliding window instead of a casement. We have a lot of ways to make window process really easy.
Compared to other window companies, you have a completely different business.
Yeah, with other companies, there's just really people called the process. There's the manufacturer, the seller, and then the installer, and then the customer. And if you call with a problem, that's when they say, oh, we're the manufacturer. You have to call the installer for that problem. Or vice versa. We're the full-service replacement window division at Anderson. With us, there's no passing problem. At Renewal by Anderson, we sell, build, install, and warrant our windows behind. So if there's ever an issue, we take full responsibility.
Why don't you sell by the window?
It doesn't matter if it's a $200 window or $1,200. A lot of my windows just don't last. Energy efficiency and beauty, there's a much better option. Our Windows Fibrex composite material is available in 9 designer colors, and it's much more durable than vinyl. Fibrex is low maintenance like vinyl, but stronger than vinyl. And it's beautiful like wood, but doesn't require the upkeep of wood.
This month only, save 20% on windows, save 20% on patio doors, and save 20% on entry doors. Plus, take $150 off your entire purchase with zero money down, zero monthly payments, and zero interest for 1 year. This offer ends February 29th. For a free appointment with Renewal by Anderson, call 1-800-704-4200. That's 1-800-704-4200.
Is it Sundays? There's nothing better than Subway service. It's happening on all the alongside you. Which is the $2 for all churros, $3 for all pretzels, and $5 for all second. Everything on the side.
Guided to speak after they won't go to jail.
In response to police searching for additional suspects in the Times Square attack on police.
Look at the fucking ladder.
Tough words from the governor of New York as calls grow to punish the suspects caught on camera brutally beating 2 NYPD cops in Times Square. A total of 7 men have now been arrested. I'm John Roberts, and we are in New York, and this is American Reports, Hour number 2. Good to be with you as well, although I feel like we should be in a different set.
It's a little weird, I have to say. We're getting used to it, and it's nice to be here.
We should have a little model of the White House.
Make people feel comfortable.
Exactly.
Sandra Smith's on assignment today. I'm Jill Hunter. This is a live look now outside criminal court in Lower Manhattan. We're waiting there for 2 more suspects to appear. 5 of them, as John mentioned, have already been arrested and arraigned, only to then walk out bail free. One of the released migrants appearing to treat his entire apprehension as some kind of a joke. He's there smiling, blowing kisses at the cameras.
There we are.
Casually flipped the double bird as he strolled away from the precinct again without having to post any sort of cash bill. We will talk to Fox News legal editor Carrie Urban on the New York law that allows these suspects to walk. And Brian Kilby on the migrant crisis reaching a new peak.
But first, we're going to CB Cotton. She's in Times Square, where this all went down. CB, some lawmakers are now calling for these suspects to be deported. Is that an option?
Hi, Jillian. Well, New York officers, state and local, are not allowed to hold any migrant for federal immigration enforcement, and members of the NYPD specifically are not allowed to ask the immigration status of anyone involved in a crime because of sanctuary city laws.
Here are 7 people who clearly displayed that they have no respect for our laws or our city, and they should be deported immediately. But there's not active cooperation between the NYPD and any kind of federal agency that will deport these folks. They operate as 2 different entities, which is really a breakdown in bureaucracy, but it's currently the way it is.
a total of 7 migrants have been arrested for the assault, which left 2 officers with bruises and scrapes. Police say a cell phone was also stolen. 5 of the men were arraigned and released without bail. The Manhattan District Attorney's Office reports the Fox cash bail was not requested, saying its investigation is ongoing and the role of each suspect needs to be specified.
Mayor Adams, any response to the migrants being released?
New York City Mayor Eric Adams did not stop to answer questions today about the attack, but told a local station, quote, "Those migrants who are here because they want to be part of the American dream, we say yes to that. But those who are breaking our laws, we need to re-examine the laws that don't allow us to deport them because they're doing violent acts." Now, 2 more suspects arrested last night are expected to be arraigned in criminal court today, as you mentioned. So far, at least 2 of the suspects arrested in this case have previous criminal cases open against them. Back to you.
All right, so John, here in Manhattan for us, John.
For more on this, let's bring in Carrie Urbon, Fox News legal editor and former counselor to Attorney General Bill Barr. So let's get you to talk on a couple of things that C.B. Cotton mentioned. First of all, this idea that you can assault a police officer and be back out on the streets with no cash bail. And then these other laws that in a sanctuary city, you're not even allowed to ask what the immigration status of a perpetrator is.
Yep, so it's a twofold problem, John, to your point. And by the way, it's not just when you assault a police officer. I was looking through the laws that are qualifying offenses under this new bail reform legislation, and it includes criminal use of biological weapons, all kinds of sexual abuse, and the list goes on and on. So these are people who commit these acts, but yet get sent out right after that with really no consequence, unless, of course, and this is what is a bit confusing to me in this particular situation, unless the judge determines that the individual is a flight risk. Now, one would think that if someone is here in this country illegally, that would be a de facto flight risk. So why not, apply that here? And that remains unclear to me.
Carrie, what about the distinction here? I guess, what about the federal government? What role do they have here? What legal options, if any?
Yep. And this is the problem when a city is designated as a sanctuary city. It makes it really difficult. Laws on the books in New York, because it's a sanctuary city, make it very difficult for law enforcement to coordinate with ICE, which is an arm of the federal immigration agency that can, take illegal folks and deport them if necessary. And in a non-sanctuary city, what would normally happen here is that even if a person was released after arrest, what local law enforcement could then do would be to call up ICE and say, hey, we have someone here illegally, they've committed a crime, we need you to come down and meet with them, and potentially you apply your own proceedings against them. In a sanctuary city, that just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
2 in the morning.
He sent me a few notes on all of this. This is something he knows very well. He said that in the administration, ICE is only directed to begin deportation proceedings against somebody who has been convicted of a crime, not just facing charges. And he said that ICE doesn't even bother to file detainers in sanctuary cities because nothing's going to happen anyways, to your earlier point. But what about this point? That the Biden administration has told ICE, don't begin removal proceedings against anybody who's only been charged with a crime. You have to wait until they're convicted.
Yeah, so it's multi-layered. That's what the problem is here. You have a bad law on the books in New York. You have New York being designated as a sanctuary city, which makes it almost impossible for ICE to do their jobs. You have an administration who is actively their people to not enforce federal immigration law or look for ways to get around that. So it's no wonder there's such a problem in New York, and it's no wonder we saw what we saw unfold in Times Square the other night, given how these laws are either not being enforced or they're being abused.
All right, Carrie, we're going to leave it there, but thanks for taking time with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Carrie.
Thanks for having me.
Let's go ahead now and bring in Brian Kilmeade, co-host of Fox and Friends, host of One Nation, and the Brian Kilmeade radio show, also an author. Did I leave it?
No, that's it. Soccer coach.
Soccer coach extraordinaire, dog dad.
Yeah, I think we're done.
All right, let's do the segment.
But here's the thing that is so unbelievable. We saw this video emerge on Monday. They saw what happened on Saturday night at 8:30, where these 2 officers, this lieutenant and this officer, walking up 42nd Street, look over, they see these guys, they go out of noise, kind of blocking the street. They say, guys, move ahead. That's all. And these guys turn around and they jump them, and we're seeing the actions here. And because of that, only 4 get arrested, and a 5th gets arrested. They're all let out without bail. And you just see the look on their face as they look in our face, basically saying, "You're paying for our shit, our laundry, we're getting free food. Well, we don't need a job. They're not even getting a stipend." And that's what we get as Americans in our face. These people that are breaking these immigration laws, the people that are taking advantage of, are laughing at us and have nothing but disdain for us. I don't think the Lakers are happy for that publicity.
So, which is a point that I was thinking about. When immigration sympathizers and Democrats scream from the rooftops that we have to let anybody and everybody in, and when the Biden administration refuses to close the border, are these the people whose entry into the country they're promoting?
He helped the cause for people that want a sealed border more than anything else. Him flipping up the bird with both fingers. This guy throwing us kisses, mocking us, sells the story that it's not anti-Hispanic or anti-immigrant. This is just doing what every country does. Seals their border, gets control of their immigration system. Mayor Adams was working it. Mayor Adams working on those steps back there. What did he say? He said, "You understand the American dream, I'm all for that, but not this way." No. You already came in. You should go through the port of entry. Your reason for asylum is, "I feel under threat." Those reasons for asylum were not accepted under Trump, they're accepted here. You now have to have proof under Trump that you're under threat. And why can't you go to another portion of your country? These are able-bodied, single male. They don't fit the profile of people on the run. But the neck tattoos get me thinking that we're going to have the gangsters over here. Maybe I'm generalizing. This one guy, Yeoman Rivera, is really something else. This guy punched and bit a Nordstrom worker. He also punched a prevention officer. So this is his third
Nordstrom, by the way, sorry to interrupt, that incident, the Nordstrom incident, was while he was...
Could be a Decker.
You believe this? Yeah, trying to shoplift. I mean, this is what these people are laughing at us. No other country would allow this, and we're giving taxpayer dollars. Does anyone, just do yourself a favor today. Just look at your other side of your paycheck. I don't like it people get a deposit. You will see 49% or 40% of your money going to the federal government, the state government, the local government. Are you comfortable giving them to that?
All right, so the governor is expressing outrage over this incident. Here's what Governor Hochul said just a little while ago.
In response to police, additional suspects for the Times Square task police.
Set them all.
Get them all and send them back, she says. And while we're at it, let's expedite work permits for people in the city illegally so that they can get work, which will increase the pull factor
It's
for
just
people
temporary.
Yeah, she says I have 40,000 open jobs, so let's put them to work. That's a magnet. You'll get more people sending for their family. You go up to the border, you tell people you're looking for asylum, they give you a free bus ride to Port Authority, then you report to 42nd Street, you pick out your shelter hotel of your choice, you get 3 meals and a mini menu every day. You might even want to wash your laundry if you get to Randall's Island, which is a small island up on the northeast end of New York City, which was once a park for people to play soccer.
There are people who are saying that these folks should be having their laundry done at Rikers Island, not Randall's Island.
Absolutely. And then also what the problem is, on Rikers Island, no more solitary confinement, so our guards are getting beaten up, and they have no recourse. If these guys do it 25 years, you beat up a guard, what are you going to do? Give me more? So they don't even have solitary confinement. She's a lot of the problem. She's a huge part of the problem. If you want to help out, why don't you get those cops qualified immunity? Because they're welcome worried every day of not necessarily surviving, but worried if somebody's going to have a camera and misinterpret what they did and be sued and lose everything.
Well,
There was 6,000 cops down, by the way, in New York City.
well, thankfully there was a camera on this particular incident, and it sparked national debate on the shooting. Brian, great to see you.
Good to see you. Don't forget to watch One Nation. I'm going to cover a lot of this with John Walsh right off the top.
Big issue, no question about that. Now this.
Let's see, ultimate tonight. This was when she met someone on Instagram who offered to sell her a prescription pill, and it turned out to be pure fentanyl.
Too many children have died after taking drugs that were bought over social media. Heartbroken parents back on Capitol Hill lobbying for tougher regulations against big tech.
There's also this new polling out now, so Nikki Haley isn't getting a lot of love from the home state of South Carolina. Is she going to be able to drum up enough support before the primary? We're going to ask Byron York that question coming up next.
Try beef out more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein. The great protein, uncreamed sugar, 25 vitamins and minerals, and a new fiber blend with a prebiotic.
The Fed is printing money like crazy. Debt is rising by the trillions. Is there a way to profit from this madness? What do these experts say?
The more money you print, the less your dollars are flowing, and that's why you want to close your portfolio.
Even Bank of America says $3,000 gold is entirely possible.
Silver still has the biggest run coming up.
Gold will outperform stocks, and silver will outperform gold.
Experts agree. Massive money printing and rising debt could send gold and silver prices much higher. How high? Find out. Over the experts' money printing report and gold and silver decision guide. See just how high gold and silver prices could go.
I think gold and silver.
The report and guide are free. Also ask how you can get $15,000 in bonus gold or silver. Call Deer Capital now at 800-885-2000. 800-885-2000. 800-885-2000.
I got injured. My back got injured very bad. I was off work for about a year. Did physical therapy. You name it, I did it. I heard about a Relief Factor from my wife. She basically made me take it.
Relief Factor is a daily supplement developed by doctors to help your body fight pain naturally. It doesn't just mask pain, it helps reduce or even eliminate it.
I took it every day, 3 times a day, for 3 weeks. Woke up, laying in bed, rolled over and looked at her, and I said, "The pain is gone." And she said, "I'm glad it helped." I said, "No, you understand. It's gone."
See how Relief Factor can help you feel better every day. Call or go online to try it for yourself and get our 3-week quick start for just $19.95.
My wife making me take Relief Factor literally changed my life.
All right, Joe Biden, he says he's decided how to respond to Iran. Will he finally take any meaningful action? We break it all down tonight, right here on Hannity.
We're traveling all across America talking to people about their hearts. How's the heart? Good. You feel like it's good? How do you know when it's time to check in on your heart? How do you know? Let me show you something. It looks like a credit card, but it is a cardiac mobile card. That is a medical grade EEG. See how it works?
Yeah.
Put those thumbs on there. That is your heart.
With Cardio Mobile Card, you can take a medical grade EKG in just 30 seconds from anywhere. Cardio Mobile Card is proven to detect atrial fibrillation, one of the leading causes of stroke, and it's the only personal EKG that's FDA cleared to detect normal heart rhythm, bradycardia, and tachycardia.
How much do you think that costs?
Like $500?
$99.
Oh, really? You carry that in your wallet?
Of course you carry your wallet, right?
Yes.
Cardio Mobile Card is just $89 during Heart Health Month. No wait, get Cardio Mobile Card at cardio.com or Amazon.
Why are Force Factor vitamins so popular at Walmart? Force Factor uses the highest quality ingredients to deliver powerful, healthy results from delicious and convenient supplements. That's why friends and family recommend Force Factor.
Oh, it's a good time for I got experience points. Okay. Let's see.
Now it's 124, and Nikki Haley coming up short of Iowa. Sure, but can she turn it around ahead of her home state's primary? Let's bring in Byron York, Fox News contributor and chief political correspondent at the Washington Examiner. On that question, Byron, we get a little bit of a hint from a new Washington Post non-link poll that shows President Trump 26 points ahead of Haley, 58% to her 32%. That's the same split in a Trafalgar poll back at the beginning of December, but down 3 points from the recent poll at the beginning of January. So does that potentially suggest that there is a little bit of movement in the direction?
Well, this is the first big poll in South Carolina that we've had since the Iowa caucuses and the New Hampshire primary. So we're all kind of operating a little in the dark before this. But it's basically unchanged. I mean, she's still 26 points behind based on the old polls, the New Hampshire Politics Average poll. She was 28 points behind, so it's not a huge change.
Wish I had cyberware. Let's save this for sure.
If you remember that theory where a lot of anti-Trump
Rock and roll.
said, look, the race has to narrow. You have to have everybody drop out except just one candidate, and that one candidate can defeat Donald Trump in a one-on-one matchup. Well, all the candidates have gone, and what we found out is that some of their support did indeed go to Nikki Haley, but some of it went to Trump too. In the same poll that we have from September, Haley is up 14 points from back then, so that's good. But Trump is up 12 points, so there wasn't a lot of big net difference.
All right, so let's take a look at the various constituencies in the Republican Party and who leads. Trump has got a big lead among conservatives. Very conservatives, he leads 80-13. Somewhat conservative, 59-30. She leads among moderates and liberals, 56-33%. Now, we should point out, too, that the South Carolina primary coming up at the end of the month is an open primary. The Democrats and independents could play in this one if they want to. Could that change the outcome?
Yeah, it could. It could. You're right. Democrats and independents, everybody can vote in any primary they want. They can only vote in one. You can't vote in both primaries. But we saw in Iowa and in New Hampshire a real desire on the part of Haley supporters to get moderates, independents, and even Democrats to vote for her in those primaries. It wasn't as easy in Iowa and New Hampshire as it is in South Carolina. But it didn't work a lot. And Trump has such solid support among Republicans. It seems to me that there's really only two ways for Haley to try to go here. The first one is to try to get more Republicans to support her, to vote for her, to build her Republican support. But the second thing I think we're going to see a lot of is some anti-Trump forces really calling on, maybe begging independents and Democrats in South Carolina to please go vote for Nikki Haley in the Republican primary.
You know, it's thought that a real weak spot for President Trump is among college graduates. But take a look at this finding in the moderate poll. Among no college graduates or people with no college degree, he leads 68% to 22%. But she only leads him by 2 points among college graduates. And then what's going to come from number 4 here, when you put up the issues, he's trouncing her on every major issue that voters care about.
Yeah, absolutely. We're talking about the economy, immigration, foreign affairs. They really prefer Trump. Part of that is the fact that they know what he did as president. This is an extremely unusual situation. Nikki Haley and everybody else are facing an unprecedented situation, which is they're running against a man who has been president of the United States before. You know, the education thing, it is interesting. I remember back a rally in 2016 in Walterboro, South Carolina, a Trump rally that I went to, and I started talking to people just randomly. First couple of people I hit were retired State Department. Another one was a doctor. Another one worked for a big trade organization. And the last one was a lawyer. These were very college-educated people for Trump.
Well, the head of J.P. Morgan Chase was saying nice things about Trump the other day, so as other people do as well.
The voters can change things.
Always good to see you, Byron. Thanks for your take on this.
Thank you, John.
Julie?
Well, a year now after that toxic train derailment in Ohio, President Biden is now going to visit. We're on the ground there, hearing what folks have to say about that.
Plus, Boston is making room for migrants by kicking out youth programs from a community center. You can bet that the community is hot about that. A man involved with one of those organizations joins us coming up next.
We want to help them, but at the same time, what about us that need help here? What about, I'm a mother and I have 4 children. They need help. They need somewhere to go.
Some people just know that the best rate for you is a rate based on you with Allstate. Not one based on Paul. You don't want to ride with Paul. Or Sarah. That's Dave. If you don't want a rate based on Ben, he's got some important business to take care of. Why would you pay a rate based on anyone else? With Allstate, you're connected to a rate based on you.
My name's Cody Archie,
And I'm Erica.
and we're first-generation ranchers from Central Texas.
Because of TikTok, we're able to show people from all over the world where their food and fiber come from.
We have Yorker sheep and we have beef cattle for the sole purpose of going into the food chain. We use TikTok as a tool to inform of what we do and why we do it. There's just a plethora of knowledge and of information swapping going on there. TikTok is helping us protect this way of life for future generations.
A vacation starts with how you get there. A private jet experience from One Flight's magic. You've got to see this. Like in your itinerary, search for over 5,000 pounds. Take, and you're on your way. Nothing better than a personalized view on board. A great vacation always starts with your flight experience. Oh, we'll complete your flight. My name is Bob. I'm 55 years old, and I like to tackle life every single day. My life's never boring. I make sure of that. Whether we're gardening, back at the pond, fishing, running a tractor, or moving dirt, playing rock and roll, there's always something to do. I've been taking balance in nature for about 5 years. Absolutely. Balance in nature. Feel better. It's just that simple.
Extended limited time offer. Get 35% off plus a free hybrid spice by using discount code FOX. If you struggle with CPAP, you should check out Inspire. Inspire, sleep apnea innovation. Learn more and view important safety information at inspiresleep.com.
Well, I was on my regular route when I find this stuff. Bring rings to each wedding.
FedEx presents 12 Tales of True Deliveries.
So I grabbed the rings and also down the beach. Who has the rings? I do. I do.
Say,
I'll say. Just another day on the job.
If this is what we did for love, see what we can do for your business. FedEx. Introducing Men's Black Spice. It consists of Indian red patches. You can see.
Tesla is the #1 prescribed tool to treat black psoriasis. It can help you get clear skin.
Fucking empty rooms or what?
Test required. Doctors have been prescribing it for nearly a decade.
I'm looking around for anything.
Serious allergic reactions can happen. Nutella may cause severe diarrhea, nausea, or vomiting. Some people take Nutella and depression, suicidal thoughts, or weakness. Upper respiratory tract infection and headache may occur.
With clear skin, movie night is a groovy night. Live in the moment. Ask your doctor about Tesla.
President Joe Biden will finally visit East Palestine, Ohio, 1 year after a train carrying toxic chemicals derailed there. Many of the communities say they are not happy with the federal response, and some are worried that Biden is going to try to turn this into a campaign stop. Fox Business' Kelly Saberi is live in East Palestine with the latest. What are you hearing from folks there, Kelly?
John, the reaction is mixed. People are hoping that he can come and actually provide some aid. On the other hand, I spoke to the mayor who tells me that he was urged to write that formal invitation, which prompted the White House to say that the president will visit. At the same time, the mayor also said the best time for Biden to visit is on his 2025 book. Take a listen.
Do you still stand by that comment about the book tour?
I think 100% stand by comment about the book tour. I think that's the best time for him personally is Joe Biden. That's the best time for Joe Biden to come. I think the best time for him to come would have been whenever this happened.
So the right time for the president to visit was right when it happened. I'm disgusted with his lack of attention to East Palestine.
Dr. Rick Chai has been testing the environment for chemicals in the creek. Like many of his patients, he experienced ongoing health issues. Chai is now running for Congress because he says East Palestine has been forgotten. The EPA and local government told residents they were safe to return to their homes, Less than a week after the derailment happened last year, Chai says his testing shows that the environment is still contaminated. In addition to construction and cleanup signs, one indication of how life has changed here can be observed after a storm rolls through. There's a unique smell that lingers in the town, and it's not one of fresh rain. It's the moisture that makes the air smell like a paint factory. Meanwhile, this week we're learning that Norfolk Southern is the first of the major rail companies to agree to a federal pilot program. It will allow its employees to anonymously report safety concerns without any repercussions and any hindrances to what their job and their future employment may be. John?
Well, that is a big question, though, Kelly. Why now?
Oh, shit.
The goal was to reignite bad feelings. Mission accomplished. Kelly Severi, Forrest, thank you. Julie?
Bad news never gets better with age. All right, Boston is now relocating hundreds of migrants who've been sleeping on the floor at Logan Airport, moving them into a rec center in a neighborhood that's called Roxburgh. Officials there plan to spend about $500 million outfitting that facility for housing. A lot of locals whose kids rely on the center for school activities are now outraged. The youth and community programs housed in that facility are now left scrambling to find new ones. Joining us now is Domingos DeRosa, Boston resident, also organizer of Boston Medical Youth Athletic Organization. Domingos, thanks for being with us. Talk to me, how do you feel about everything that's taking place?
Well, you know, it's disheartening when you think one community versus the next. Folks here are looking to help and support folks who are coming in to the community, but at the same time, we're also looking for the support we've been asking for decades.
Well, to that point, how do you feel about specifically the fact that the government is now funding enough money to transform this facility, but as I understand, residents have been asking for funding for the rec center for a long time?
Well, it shows you the urgency that they take when it comes to matters.
Let's restart the level. I think I got this. I know how to play this.
What the conditions are, you know, they're quick to move money around and make things happen. Again, you know, this side here, folks have been asking for an upgrade for the last 10 to 15 years. And overnight, you know, we're finding funding to rehabilitate the building to fit the state's needs.
One resident in your neighborhood, a guy named Rodney Singleton, asked the governor why she had singled this facility out, citing it as a predominantly black neighborhood for acquisition and not someone else that's more affluent, maybe has more resources.
Let's go straight to the eye.
Already, has the community received any kind of response to that question?
No, not a concrete answer. But again, you know, myself and others have been having this discussion over years of neglect of Roxbury. We all know it goes back to voting percentages here in the district. They seem to, you know, use Roxbury in certain parts of Boston where black and brown predominantly people live as areas that they, you know, make changes without asking for the community to approve.
Take a listen to Boston's mayor talking about folks, 125 families roughly, who are going to be moved into the rec center.
Their stories are the same as ours. People who just want to try to give their kids a chance and a better life. And we are a little bit stuck in a system where the federal machinery needs a lot of fixing.
How do you feel about those comments?
Passing the buck. You know, this is passing the buck. Boston itself does not have the infrastructure as people might project. Here, you know, we have families who are always displaced because of natural disasters, fires, and things of that nature, emergencies. And, you know, we place them in the Red Cross's hands. And as you know, that's, you know, 1 or 2 days in a hotel. But once that voucher is expired, what do we do next? And we don't have that system here in Boston for residents. So, you know, we don't want to see the buck pass. We want folks to actually take accountability and say, hey, you know, this is a bigger picture, which it is, but at the same time, those same resources that we're looking to provide for others don't exist for Bostonians themselves.
Well, Domingos, we got to leave it there. I'd like to stay in touch with you on this, see how things shake out moving forward and what the experience is and all your neighbors there. We wish you all the best. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
You know, you've got to feel for these communities. all the folks who were using Randall's Island in Chicago, where they're taking away community facilities and playing fields and sports. And here
It's all
are
the kids that are getting impacted, you know?
the kids are the ones who are getting shoved to the side. And it's because of federal government policies, and these cities don't know how to deal with it. And so the way that they do it is they harm communities that are part of the everyday fabric of their society. It just doesn't make any sense at all.
And now Massachusetts really suffering the effects of this crisis. All their emergency facilities were filled up in November. These, like this Roxbury facility we're seeing, is a backup to the backup. Those are getting filled up now. I don't know what they're going to do. They're going to run out of funds.
And people keep coming across the border in record numbers, day in and day out. The head of Hamas discussing possible truce talks in Egypt's capital, the three-step proposal that could free hostages in Gaza, but it also force an extended ceasefire.
Plus, President Biden said to meet the families of the service members who lost their lives in the Jordan drone attack. He has promised to retaliate. How long will America wait? We're asking former CENTCOM spokesman, retired U.S. Army Colonel Joe Pacino. Coming up next.
Okay.
The #1 pharmacist recommended vitamin supplement brand. Fashion moves fast. So we partner with Verizon to take our operations to the next level.
A custom private 5G network.
To get more control of production, efficiencies, and greater agility. That's enterprise intelligence.
It's your vision. It's your Verizon.
Every day, veteran homeowners are calling New Day to pay off credit card debt that's been piling up. Many were shocked to learn they've been paying 22% of their credit card balances. And if payments were late, as much as 30%. That's over 3 times the interest rate on a New Day 100 VA home loan. Pay off higher rate another debt with a lower rate New Day home loan. You can save $500 every month. Call 1-800-575-63.
What does it take to get your best night's sleep? Start with sheets so soft they transport you. At Bowen Branch, we use the barest cotton on it and a transformative weave that unlocks new levels of softness, wash after wash. So the sheet starts out soft and gets even better with time. 96% of customers agree Bowen Branch sheets get softer with every wash. Feel the difference and sleep better at night with Bowen Branch.
Always put the things first. But that comes to getting first tea. Just let his own maintenance take a back seat. Maybe it's time to shift gears on that. Because Aspen Dental has the latest technology and equipment. The staff goes out of their way to provide exceptional care. Plus free exams and x-rays for new patients without insurance and 20% off treatment plans.
Just
Making it easier to get started with quality care. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
If you have Graves' disease, your eye symptoms could mean something more. That gritty feeling can't be brushed away. Even a little blurry vision can distort things, and something serious may be behind those itchy eyes. Up to 50% of people with Graves could develop a different condition called thyroid eye disease, which should be treated by a different doctor. See an expert. Find a TED eye specialist at isnTED.com.
I'm Jonathan Lewis, here to tell you about life insurance through the Colonial Penn Program. If you're age 50 to 85 and looking to buy life insurance on a fixed budget, remember the 3 Ps.
What are the 3 Ps?
3 Ps of life insurance on a fixed budget are price, price, price. A price you can afford, a price that can't increase, and a price that fits your budget.
I'm 54. What's my price?
You can get coverage for $9.95 a month.
I'm 65 and take medications. What's my price?
Also $9.95 a month.
I just turned 80. What's my price?
$9.95 a month for you too. If you're age 50 to 85, call now about the #1 most popular life insurance plan available through the Colonial Penn. Options start at $9.95 a month. No medical exam, no health questions.
what if we save it here?
And this plan has a guaranteed lifetime.
See if it works.
So your rate can never go up for any reason. So call now for free information, and you'll also get this free beneficiary plan.
and it's yours free, just for calling. So call now for free information.
Call 1-800-700-2020 for your free information and your free gift. That's 1-800-700-2020. Don't wait. 1-800-700-2020. Call now.
When you can't watch, listen. Get the latest news, business, and news headlines on SiriusXM. Anytime, anywhere. Fox News Audio on SiriusXM. America is listening.
Okay.
We have to look at pro-Palestinian protesters swarming the streets of the nation's capital earlier today, demanding a ceasefire in Gaza. This comes as President Biden's campaign events have been met with relentless protests. Some people there chanting ceasefire or no vote, and even Genocide Joe. Organizers now say they have no plan to halt any of these protests until a complete ceasefire is called.
Yeah, the pressure is really mounting on Joe Biden, particularly in Michigan, where he is really feeling political heat. Recent poll found that Donald Trump was up 8 points in Michigan. Debbie Dingler was on this program a couple of days ago, in which she said Biden's looking at bad fortunes. And a lot of it's because of this.
Because this, and it's certainly not an issue that's going to be resolved because any hope of resolution between now and the 2024 election. So it's a matter of whether the president is going to take a stand and double down on defense of Israel, or continue to slide away from that.
Although, I mean, in terms of a permanent ceasefire, I think we're a long way away, but in terms of a potential temporary ceasefire, the head of Hamas discussing a possible truce for hostages deal, reportedly meeting with leaders in Egypt's capital. Officials say it's a 3-stage plan that would begin with an initial 6-week halt to fight and more aid deliveries to Gaza. Trey Yates is live in Tel Aviv with more. What's the latest on the ground here? What are the chances that there could be, as John Kirby said the other day in the briefing, an extended ceasefire that goes well beyond what we saw in November?
Yeah, hey John, good afternoon. It's day 118 of the war between Israel and Hamas as pressure grows to find a deal that would temporarily pause the fighting. Now today, dozens of protesters gathered at the Kerem Shalom crossing between Israel and Gaza to demonstrate against aid going into the Strip. After days of similar acts, the Israelis closed both the Kerem Shalom crossing and the Nitzana crossing to prevent disruptions in aid delivery. Protesters then shifted their tactics and started to block the port of Ashdod, where some of the aid was arriving. The group is calling for the release of hostages from Hamas.
I know that this war is getting longer and longer, injuring our soldiers and our families because of all these trucks that are coming into Gaza.
A ceasefire agreement is being discussed today, and reports indicate the leader of Hamas, Ismail Haniyeh, traveled from Doha to Cairo for talks with Egyptian negotiators. With fighting ongoing inside Gaza, Israeli forces are pulling out another reserve brigade, trying to keep reservists fresh and trained. Battles are still taking place near Gaza's second largest city of Han Yunis, as civilians are running out of places to evacuate to. At a water distribution point in the southernmost city of Rafah, Palestinians say that disease is starting to spread across the Strip, with limited aid flowing in and unsanitary conditions.
The water is not clean. We struggle to use it, and we're also sending people. 1 gallon is not enough. After an hour, you need to refill it. The children are catching diseases and spreading it to others. There are filled hospitals, and we can't keep up.
If the ceasefire is implemented, it could see a pause in fighting for up to 6 weeks, more aid entering Gaza, and more hostages released.
John, Trey Yates from Tel Aviv. We'll see how this unfolds. Trey, thank you. Trey?
Biden will meet tomorrow with the families of the 3 service members killed in the Iran-backed drone attack in Jordan. He has promised a strong response. With Defense Secretary General Austin back in action now, how and when will that come about? Let's bring in former St. Constable retired Army Colonel Joe Bacchino. Colonel, thanks for being with us. We're just getting into the newsroom now. Noted that the Houthis launched 3 more attacks into the Gulf of Aden and the Red Sea today, making the 42nd, 3rd, and 4th strikes from that rebel group since November 19th.
Well, the attacks there continue, the disruption in the Red Sea, the disruption throughout the region, and of course we are thinking about the families of Sergeants Kennedy Sanders, Breonna Taylor, and Sergeant William Rivers and their families and soldiers at this moment. And, you know, the strikes continue, so nobody's been deterred. We've been talking about a response to the strike in Jordan on Tower 22. They killed 300 soldiers. We're in the 5th or 6th day of talking about that, really telegraphing the blow here. Not seeing anything as of yet.
So it looks like the U.S. has determined that the drone that hit Tower 22 and killed those 3 brave service members was an Iraq manufactured in Iraq. Qatar Hezbollah is a terrorist group. What happened to this idea of material support for terrorism, which was the push down, means that you're just as guilty as the people who pulled the trigger. So if Iran sells or gives the drone to Qatar Hezbollah, whoever else was involved in this, does that not make Iran as culpable in this crime as the people who actually fired the drone? And should Iran pay the consequences?
Absolutely. And in fact, this really is not an acceleration. This strike in Tower 22 in Jordan. This isn't an acceleration of the fighting. This is exactly what's been happening since October. So this is consistent with all the strikes that are happening since October. They just got one through this time. And so, you know, this is the kind of war, this is a low-grade war, the kind of war Iran would like to fight with the United States. They've subcontracted all the fighting to these groups, these Shia proxy groups, like the Tea Party. And right now, Iran's thinking is that America has a superior firepower, but Iran has a superior will, and will wins out in these situations.
At what point does I think you just characterized it as a low-grade war, erupt into a full-blown war? In this instance, what do we need to see happen? We already know that Iran is maybe a week, as little as a week away from having a nuclear weapon.
Well, 2 weeks away from enough uranium enrichment.
Yes,
they're months away from one.
From being able to.
That's exactly right. Bottom line is they're too close. They're too close to that point. I think what Iran is trying to do here with all this is they're trying to see what's the red line, what they can get away with, what that magical line is that's going to really trigger a response that's going to cause them to feel pain. They want to inch right on up to that red line, and then they want to spit over it. And so if this doesn't cause that red line, if this doesn't trigger a significant response, it's really going to embolden Iran.
Well, the fact that Qatar Hezbollah and other Iran-backed proxies said after this attack on Tower 22, we're suspending our attacks on U.S. forces in the region, that would have seemed to have been Tehran calling them up and saying, this wasn't supposed to happen. Maybe they thought that they were going to shoot the drone down because of the mistake with the American drone coming in. This one got through, or maybe they thought that was never going to happen. But clearly Iran is worried about this because I don't think that Hezbollah and the other groups would, of their own volition, say, we're going to stand down. That order had to come from Tehran. But at the same time, unless you whack Tehran, as Biden did, as Ronald Reagan did, there's a chance that they'll just sit back for a few days until the heat comes off, or whatever brief storm comes out of the Pentagon, and then they'll be right back at it again.
That's right. So Iran, this is wait and see. Okay, what's going to happen? Is anything going to happen? Are they just going to strike buildings? Are they going to hit some drone facilities in Yemen again? Are they going to hit things that Iran cares about? That's the calculus right now. That's really what they're thinking. So they've pulled back on these Shia proxy groups. You know, Ismail Khani, he's the commander who replaced Qasem Soleimani, the big-time commander that was killed in the Trump administration in January 2020. His replacement, this guy, Ismail Khani, he doesn't have as tight a grip on these groups as Soleimani did. So they pulled it back a little bit, and now they want to see what's really going to happen.
Much has been made in the reporting this week that the Biden administration's response to this, whenever it comes, is going to be, I think they've been saying, reporters have been using the term multi-tiered. What does that mean to you in military talk?
Multi-tiered means it's a phased approach that goes from a lower level of violence to a higher level of violence over a period of days, not hours. So you're talking about striking fast boats off the Iranian coast, then maybe you hit this destroyer. They've got a destroyer, very, very old destroyer, that's operating in the Persian Gulf. Then maybe you hit an oil refinery in Iran, like some of the Republicans are calling for. So you phase up the level of violence over a period of days.
Well, Colonel, we got to leave it there, but thanks so much for joining us.
Clarify just the names of the 3 brave soldiers who were killed Two of them posthumously elevated to the rank of sergeant. Sergeant William Jerome Rivers, 46 years old. Sergeant Kennedy Leighton Sanders, 24, Waycross, Georgia. And Sergeant Breonna Alexandria Moffett. She was from Georgia as well. May God rest their souls. We honor them. Thank them for their service and sacrifice. Parents who attended a Senate hearing on the dangers of social media are wasting no time trying to make online apps safer for children. Now they are bringing attention to the problem again today.
At Bed Bath & Beyond, we help you save more and stress less, so you can enjoy more of this and less of that. BedBathAndBeyond.com. More savings, less stress. Shop now.
Our country used to flex its muscle with battleships like the USS Iowa. The world would listen. It's time we return to the America I remember. Hi, I'm William Devane. There are dangerous forces everywhere pulling our country apart, threatening our economy and our way of life. That's why I'm going to do two things: support our military and buy gold from Roslyn Capital. I've never felt safe relying on paper money to protect my assets. That's why I buy gold from Roslyn. With Roslyn, what you order is what you get. No gimmicks, no nonsense, no hassle. We're all safer with our ships patrolling the seas. And my assets are a whole lot safer with gold from Roslyn Capital. So ask yourself, are you safe?
Call now to get your free gold, silver, and IRA kits. For a limited time, Roslyn is offering up to $15,000 in free gold to qualifying new customers. Call 800-630-8900. That's 800-630-8900.
Hi, I'm Sally from Phoenix, Arizona. I'm a flight nurse on a helicopter that specializes in trauma. I've been doing flight nursing for 24 years. As you get older, your brain slows down, and I had a fear that I wouldn't be able to keep up. I heard about Prevision from a friend. I read the clinical study on it, and I had good reviews. I've been taking Prevision now for 5 years, and it's really helped me stay sharp and present. It's really worked for me.
Prevision at stores everywhere without a prescription.
Are you a military veteran with mesothelioma? Do you have questions about VA benefits or medical treatment and bills? Call for a free book at 1-800-600-4243 and go to mesobook.com.
Tonight on the Angry Vandal, outrage after a big sports brand uses a biological male to promote women's surfing. Pro surfer Bethany Hamilton is here to take them on at 7 p.m.
When you're a small business owner, there's no such thing as 9 to 5. Days no longer, and business hours, well, they're anything but predictable, especially when you have clients like ours. When I considered payroll providers for my business, I looked for a solution that fit into my busy schedule. Short Payroll makes running payroll fast and easy, so I can spend extra time with these guys.
Visit surepayroll.com/switch and get up to 6 months free. And find out what makes us different, because small business is our business.
Need to find your pet fast? It's easy with the Tractive GPS Pet Tracker. Set virtual fences to get alerts if your escape artist goes too far, and track your pet's live location from anywhere in the world. Monitor their activity, sleep, and get health alerts so you can spot potential issues early. All in one easy-to-use app with unlimited range and support in over 150 countries. Tractive, keeping your pet safe and healthy. Save 30% today with Tractive 30.
Do you have missing teeth? Reset Smile is a life changer. I used to be afraid to smile, and now I can't stop smiling.
Reset Smile is an affordable way to replace your missing teeth from home at a fraction of the cost of dental implants.
You get an impression kit sent to your home, and you're back. No trip to the dentist whatsoever. They fit my mouth perfectly, the color matched them perfectly. I can eat with Reset Smile just as normally as regular teeth. The best thing is, you get your confidence back.
Reset your smile. Learn more at resetsmile.com.
Another two suspects arrested in that beatdown of the two New York City police officers, the lieutenant and the officer the other day. This is pictures of the two other perpetrators being brought in for processing. They joined 5 others who were arrested. Those first 5 have all been released and are back on the streets after not having to post any bail. We'll follow these two, find out what happens in their particular case, but it's highly likely they'll get the same treatment as the previous 5. Julie?
Well, but also this, the parents of children homed by social media are bringing their calls for change right to the halls of Congress today. The lobbying effort comes a day after lawmakers developing tech CEOs in that heated Senate hearing yesterday. Congressional correspondent Ida Kosky has details for us from Capitol Hill. Aisha.
Hi, Jillian. Good afternoon to you. Yes, dozens of parents are actually fanning out the Capitol right now, going door to door and talking with their representatives and trying to lobby support for tough legislation against these social media companies. And I caught up with one of those moms, and she is Juliana Arnold. She lost her 17-year-old daughter, Coco, when she took what she thought was Xanax, but was actually pure fentanyl. Coco found that pill on Instagram. And today, Juliana is visiting corrections.
Oh,
Stefanik, she wants to get the House on board with the Senate bills like the Kids Online Safety Act.
We know the situation that was going on in the House of Representatives and getting people to agree on things, so we hope, like it did in the Senate, it brought everyone together. Our children are at risk, and I think anyone who can't see that is not doing their duty as a representative of our people.
This is all part of a day of advocacy today, hosted by Senators Blackburn and Blumenthal. Kids Online Safety Act. They don't want to lose the momentum from yesterday's blockbuster hearing. Of course, that one got so intense that Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Meta, was able to stand up and apologize to all the audience. Now, what happens next with Senator Graham and Senator Josh Hawley? Force votes on some of these social media programs.
Right? These days, a unique blend of and things to do. That's why you choose Glucerna to help manage blood sugar response. Uniquely designed with Carb Steady. Glucerna. Bring on the day.
My dry eyes made me a burning, stinging 5 times a day. Makeup smearing, drop season.
Do you know what he does? When you guys leave to go away, he comes into my room crying, saying that mom's gonna die. Go ahead, you figure it out.
By helping your body produce its own real tears. Common side effects include sneezing, cough, and throat and nose irritation. Relying only on dry. Not me. My own real tears are my relief. Ask your eye doctor. Your bio. The will states that Mr.
You know what I do? I turn on my system and leave everybody the fuck alone.
Auto ship from Chewy.
I always love that.
And she gets a what?
Save 35% off your first auto ship order at Chewy.
DirecTV Sports Central brings your game stats and scores together, and now you can get it without a satellite. One more reason to finally get rid of cable. When you get rid of cable guy, might not be as easy.
Oh, yeah. Visit DirecTV.com for up to a $200 reward card.
Oh, I'm former Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee. A lot of times you can't control the amount of sleep that you're getting. You can't fall asleep or you're tossing and turning all night. You can't get the sleep you need to stay healthy. I know, it's scary unless you use Relaxium Sleep. Relaxium Sleep is a product that's made from natural ingredients, and it usually works from the very first night you try. It helps you fall asleep, stay asleep, and wake up refreshed, earning your body those quality hours of sleep that it desperately needs.
Join the hundreds of thousands of people who've experienced the relief and health benefits from getting a great night's sleep and get Relaxium Sleep. Relaxium Sleep helps you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up feeling refreshed.
Relaxium Sleep worked from the very first night I took it.
First time I took Relaxium, and I slept through the night, I thought, wow, this worked for me. I could not believe it.
Relaxium Sleep is studied, tested, and designed by a neurologist to help you fall asleep faster, stay asleep longer, and wake up refreshed.
Relaxium is drug-free and not addictive, so you can take Relaxium every night and never worry about side effects. And the best part is, it can start working from the very first night.
When I take Relaxium Sleep, I sleep better than I have in years.
I wake up feeling like I had the best night's sleep.
Stop being afraid and start sleeping your fears away with Relaxium Sleep. Your body and your mind will thank you.
I'm telling you, Relaxium is the real deal.
Mike Huckabee is so confident that Relaxium will work for you, he's asked us to give away 1,000 bottles. Get your risk-free bottle of Relaxium Sleep now. It's guaranteed to work for your money back.
Call 800-898-9322. 800-898-9322. Call 800-898-9322. 800-898-9322.
My name is Bruce. I play piano. I'm an entertainer, and I play 4 hours a night. I try to bring the best out of the crowd, and there's 1,000 people that plan their evening around me, and that's just a tremendous honor. I've been taking bouts and nurture supplements for over 3 years. I feel better, and it's amazing.
Our limited time offer is extended. Get 35% off plus a free fiber and spice supplement by using discount code FOXNEWS. From design and products to removal and installation, Rebound is with you through every step of your remodel. Call or visit Rebound.com for your free in-home design consultation.
So this is really ironic and a little bit weird that you and I will be together. We're always in Washington, D.C. Yeah. But here we are in the Big Apple today. I wonder, how does that happen?
We took the train.
So I think we're getting together for a little dinner after this. Should we go see a Broadway show or some concerts or something?
I don't even know what Broadway show I would see if given the choice. I'm so out of the loop on, what's available.
Well, we can go to that little tickets thing.
Ticketmaster.
On Broadway and Ticketmaster.
Oh, no, not Ticket. What is it? Yeah. That's on share. Oh, yeah.
See what's up?
Come meet us there.
Or you can go spend the evening with your brother as well.
Tweet us. Tell us what Broadway show we should try and get tickets to.
There you go. Great being with you today, dude.
Thanks for having me. Good to be with everybody at home. Martha is coming up next, I believe.
Yeah.
Alright, happy for Trace recommendations, guys. Just check in. Anytime. Good to see you both. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Martha McCallum, and this is the story right now. Only on Fox Look at the voices of American cities in distress. I'm going to sit down with Lawrence Jones, who is literally making his way from the airport here. And he is just wrapping up a cross-country tour, speaking with Americans who are living this day in and day out. They're very confronted of the influx of migrants, and in some cases, people who are part of gangs that are now in this country, and they are disturbing a lot in these communities. I will also speak with Senator Marco Rubio on the battle over whether the bill that Congress is debating will actually fix what is wrong. I know that's a question on a lot of people's minds as we look at all of this. But first, Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin facing reporters just a short time ago and taking responsibility for the secrecy that he put in place over his hospital stay, and now also addressing his work at hand and whether the White House's defensive plan in the Middle East is ineffective.
The message has been deterring the attacks by the Houthis, deterring the attacks by the militias. Has deterrence failed?
Our goal was to make sure that we contain this crisis in Gaza. There's always been a lot of activity in the region, and you know well that Iranian proxy groups have been attacking our troops even well before October 7th.
So now we await any moment the U.S. military response to the killing of 3 of our service members and the injuries of many more, dozens more, by Iranian proxy forces. So what are we going to do to respond to these losses? With that, we bring in retired General Joseph Votel, former commander of U.S. Central Command, now distinguished senior fellow at the Middle East Institute. General, very good to have you here. Thank you very much for being here. The first thing that really strikes me when I was watching the Secretary of Defense speak about this morning is how much effort is being put into separating the things that are going on in the Middle East. As you heard the Secretary of Defense say, well, this is, we're trying to keep it contained in Gaza. But isn't it not contained in Gaza? Isn't it already very much under this resistance umbrella? Also in the Red Sea with the Houthis, also in Iraq and Syria, where they have been going after our bases and now killing 3 of our service members.
Yeah, thanks. It's great to be with you, Martha. Yeah, I think you're right. Certainly, Gaza has been a little bit of an incendiary for all this other activity that's taken place. The Secretary is correct. We have had attacks in Iraq and Syria by militia groups. That's gone on for a fairly long time, at a lower level than it's gone on since October 7th. But certainly the uptick in attacks down in the Red Sea, I think we're up to about 44 by today, and 160 plus that we've seen since October 7th in Iraq and Syria. Those are definite upticks and are definitely related to, I think, what is happening in Gaza.
With regard to what we have heard and what has been coming out of the Pentagon in various reports, is that the retaliation that everyone's waiting for is not.
How much? I got 5? Okay.
And Syria. And what we know from Jennifer Griffith's reporting, she was asking about this earlier today in the Pentagon, is that some of these leaders of these Iranian proxy groups have already fled, already gone to Iran. So are we telegraphing a little bit too much about what is coming?
Well, they just think that certainly would be a problem. I mean, I think it was very clear to Iran and certainly these militia groups that after they crossed this red line over the weekend and they resulted in the deaths and injuries of our soldiers, that they knew they pushed across this and they knew that there would be a response in terms of this. So certainly there's been some reaction on their part. That said, the United States actually has another target analysis here. And we've heard about this so-called tiered approach. I would imagine that includes going after not just Hezbollah, for example, that has perpetrated this attack, but also looking at targets that could actually hurt Iran. And these could be targets in Iran, or they could be targets outside. So think about IRGC Quds Force leaders who operate in Iraq or Syria or Lebanon or Yemen or other places here. There's lots of things that can be done with this, but clearly there's been a reaction by the enemy after this as well.
But Chief, before I let you go, if these individuals take off for Tehran, is it off the table to hit them there?
Well, I think that obviously is the decision for the President of the United States. The striking in Iran, as satisfying as that might be, comes with a whole series of challenges that are associated with. First and foremost is they have a capable air defense system. They have a missile system that range across the region. So, you do have to think about the consequences of a strike in Iran. Now, it might be different going against coastal targets or going after an Iranian ship at sea than it certainly would be going downtown Tehran. But there are implications for this, and I suspect this is what has made this decision process is so complicated and so challenging for the administration.
We know there's an Iranian spy ship that has been patrolling the Red Sea area, which could also potentially become a target as well. General Votel, thank you very much. Good to see you, sir.
Great to be with you.
So President Biden's migrant crisis hitting all corners of America these days. Fox and Friends co-host Lawrence Jones just back in New York after his reporting journey to several hard-hit cities.
At what point does your city reach its breaking point?
Yeah, I think our city is very close to its breaking point now. We've been talking to leaders in D.C. around the country about why we would take action here.
It's an invasion. They're using asylum, and some of them saying, look, we would live better where we want. So you in fear for your life. How could you live where you want?
Lawrence Jones joins me next.
Veteran homeowners, with inflation on the march, here's a great way to get your monthly payments under control. Call New Day. While credit card rates can be 22% or more, mortgage rates at New Day are a fraction of those rates. With one easy lower monthly payment, the New Day 100 VA cash out loan lets you pay off your high rate debt. You can save $500 a month. Nobody takes care of veterans like New Day USA.
Call 1-855-371-5853.
Being in debt was just such a challenge as a working single mom.
I was working 3 jobs just to make ends meet.
I knew I wasn't going to be able to do that by myself.
National Debt Relief negotiated with my creditors and reduced my debt by half.
National Debt Relief can significantly reduce the amount you owe.
National Debt Relief got me out of debt.
feel like I'm in control again. I feel like I'm taking my life back now.
Call or visit nationaldebtrelief.com to get started.
The 1878 to 1921 Morgan silver dollar, a true American classic and one of the most iconic silver dollar coins in history. It has been over 100 years since the last Morgan silver dollar coin was struck for circulation, but now, for a limited time only, full pound bags of original U.S. government struck Morgan dollars are being released to the public. That's right, you can own a full pound of 1878 to 1921 classic American Morgan silver dollar coins, all in very good collector condition, fully visible dates and bit marks, guaranteed. Call 1-800-333-2210 now to secure collector-grade U.S. Morgan silver dollars by the pound, struck during the Wild West and the Gilded Age. Plus, receive a bonus American collector's pack valued at over $25 free with every order. Call 1-800-333-2210 now to secure your full-pound bag of Morgan silver dollar coins before they are gone. 1-800-333-2210. That's 1-800-333-2210.
At Consumer Cellular, here in America. America.
From sea to shining.
Beautiful.
I brought in Ensure Max Protein with 30 grams of protein. Those who tried me felt more energy in just 2 weeks. Here, I'll take that.
Ensure Max Protein. 30 grams protein, 1 gram sugar, 25 vitamins and minerals, and a new fiber blood with a prebiotic.
Joe Biden, he says he's decided how to respond to Iran. Will he finally take any meaningful action? We break it all down tonight, right here on Hannity.
Every day, people are making easy choices to improve their health, replacing sugar with Splenda zero-calorie sweetener. They sip it, they sprinkle it, they swap it, and enjoy the sweetness of life without the calories. Switch to Splenda.
Our ears connect us to the moments that matter. Give them the nutrients they need with new Lipo Balance Support. It's formulated with ingredients clinically shown to reduce vertigo-like symptoms such as dizziness, spinning, and swaying. Never miss a moment with Lipo Flavi.
Flood gutters can cause big problems fast. Until now, call 833 Filter today for your free gutter inspection.
I've had terrible flooding problems on my porch. Now I understand why.
Right now, eFilter is offering a free inspection on your schedule. eFilter is a permanent gutter solution, so you never have to worry about costly damage from clogged gutters again. Call us today and schedule your free inspection. Schedule your free inspection. Call 833 Filter today. Or visit eFilter.com.
Do you shop for vitamins online but need higher quality products? Force Factor's best-selling supplements powerfully improve your health. That's why Force Factor's partnered with Iron, the world's leading website for health and wellness products. Unleash your potential. Force Factor.
I used to think I did those shindigs. Then I saw it. It tracks odors and changes color with the purple makeup. Plus, it delivers right to my door. Get 5-star freshness at prettylitter.com.
Don't get me wrong, it's great that they want to help the immigrants, but what about the Americans that are already here? What about the people that are already here, that don't have homes, that don't have jobs, that are sleeping on the street already? Now it's going to destroy opportunity and mess our children up more. Why are they not helping the people here first?
So we've heard a lot of that kind of sentiment across the country. We've heard it at the town halls in Chicago, and that was a mom in Massachusetts speaking of toxic jokes this morning at a community center in Boston that they just let the community know you can't really come here anymore. It's now going to be full of beds as a shelter for migrants. So the neighborhood kids are not going to be able to go there to play basketball or hang out after school. Lawrence has been traveling the country, talking to people affected by this crisis in cities far from the southern border. Chicago, Denver, Boston. Look at how you get around. You can fly around that map. You have a fire balloon. You could back to New York now. Really compelling coverage each morning. And there's a common theme in what you're hearing here.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important to note that I've been traveling these cities, to this city for years, covering the violence, the poverty, the broken education system. And the leaders refuse to fix those problems on a day-to-day basis. They've been shutting down their schools for a while. So then to come back to these cities and to see the leaders prioritize not the residents there and all those issues, not just the cities, but the migrants that are here illegally. worse. I think that's why so many people are so outraged. Everyone has been asking, when are we going to see some change in the moment? I think this is the issue now. It's one thing to show in election time, make promises to voters, and nothing to slap your residents in the face after you promise that you're going to solve these issues, and then you give the schools to the migrants. You say you don't have the funding in Chicago to improve their education system, and that you got to shut the school down. And then suddenly you find the funding to put the migrants in there. You shut down their health centers when they can't afford health care. And you say we don't have the money for them. But suddenly they open up for the migrants. I think it's a common thing. And if I'm the president, after I just came back from Iowa and New Hampshire, I saw that the #1 issue for voters across all racial backgrounds is the border, I would be very concerned.
Yeah, you make a great point, because I was looking at a study this morning that showed that inner city kids in urban areas suffered the most in terms of learning loss during COVID. Nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about what are we doing to catch these kids up? It's like they're just gone. They're just a disappearing generation that no one's going to worry about. It makes me, it boggles my mind, honestly. And listen to this from Kathy Hochul, who is the governor of New York State, okay? She's very upset, and we're going to talk about this more later, but you have migrants in this country. They may be gang-related individuals, but basically they have assaulted police officers, and then they were held for a little bit, and then they were let out scot-free, right? So she's all upset about this now. She's on the subway. Here's what she said.
In response to police searching for additional suspects in the Times Square attack on police.
Get them all. You don't touch your police officers. You don't touch anybody. So, in case you couldn't hear that, she said, get them all and send them back. You don't touch our police officers. You don't touch anybody. Here's what she said in December of 2021. Watch it.
We want people to come here, despite where they came from, or despite the circumstances that drove them to this country, into this state. We say you are welcome here. You're welcome with open arms, and we'll work to keep you safe. We'll not only house you, but we'll protect you.
I am so over the double talk of politicians. I mean, if you want the cops to be able to deport them, as you just said, go reverse the sanctuary city law. Allow ICE to come in. Unfortunately, because of any regulations, they're not able to do their job. And frankly, it's not just her, it's all the politicians of both political parties. You got to comes out. We haven't seen the text of people saying, you're judging it based on things that have been leaked. Well, then release the text then. Release it so we can all see and we can make a determination. The reality of it is, I think both parties are going to understand this very soon. There is a growing frustration with all populations going on. I have the opportunity to go to diners in middle America, and I'm in urban America, and they're all saying the same thing. And they're upset at the politicians putting other people before them, special interests before them. I think it's going to be a huge wake-up call in this next election, just because of the anxiousness of people. And everyone wonders why the phenomenon under Donald Trump, why do people like him? Well, the number one issue when he came down the escalator was the border. And black Americans see it, Hispanic Americans see it, white Americans see it, all of the American people are seeing this issue. And if they don't wake up, and I know they're afraid of him getting back up, this may be an issue that propels him right back into office. They should be concerned. They really should. Because all
and
these
they set up exactly the environment for it, right?
Don't worry about a trauma they've had. Don't worry about what's happening in their local community.
Of course, great reporting all week, and continuing with the work that you've been doing for years. You have an excellent pulse on what's going on out there. That's why we love to go to Iowa, go to New Hampshire, get out there and talk to people, and you do it all the time. So thank you for doing it. Great to see you. Thank you very much. So right now, an arraignment is underway for some of the suspects involved in the attack on NYPD officers. Senator Marco Rubio, in this picture, you see what's happening here? This migrant just looking the bird to all the cameras as he walked out of being in custody for about 4 minutes, right? Marco Rubio suggesting that this man is telling people that, you know what, he's free, he's out, he's probably going to spend the night in a taxpayer-funded shelter tonight. We'll hear from Senator Rubio about Congress's plan to fix this mess next.
Fucking empty rooms, man. Son of a bitch.
You gave me my hobbies back.
It's the arthritis pain relief our joints rely on.
Shop our expanded family of products at major online retailers.
Businesses go further with 5G solutions. That's why they choose T-Mobile for Business. PGA of America and T-Mobile are partnering on 5G-powered analytics to help improve player performance. T-Mobile's network helps AAA stay connected nationwide to get their members back on the road. And Las Vegas Grand Prix chose T-Mobile to help fuel operations for one of the world's largest racing events. Now is the time to see what America's largest 5G network can do for your business.
My plane has mechanical problems. I'm trying to get there as soon as I can.
Breakfast was delicious, as always. Having a chauffeur car plane side helps keep me on schedule. Hi, Jeff. With all the plane shortages, did you have trouble finding one? I never have any trouble. I simply pick a plane, pay, and I'm ready to badge it to my destination.
Are there any taxis around? I'm ready for my meeting.
Do we have a deal? Just check the meetings today. Badge it and don't miss out on the most important moments of your life.
Call for a complimentary flight. Polyprides wore many hats. They came from past jobs, in fact. Every time she experienced something new, the stack of hats grew. She even served turkey eggs with what's on top, all while wearing a Viking hat. Then she found a place. How many hats would be embraced? And she couldn't hide the excitement from her face. So Polly traded in her hats to help her earn her grad cap. Your past mistakes can help you earn your degree faster. And for us, get started at Phoenix.edu.
Before planning the wedding, your bad hip was really acting up. Then, you heard about Mako robotic-assisted hip replacement. It starts with a CT scan to pinpoint the problem that becomes a personalized 3D plan to guide your doctor during surgery. Mako can help lead to better outcomes, like less pain and shorter recovery times. The lifetime of a hip implant is limited, and revision surgery may be required. Individual results and recovery times vary. Risks of surgery include pain, infection, heart attack, stroke, death, and other serious risks. Ask your doctor for important safety information. To find a doctor who uses Mako, visit MakoCan.com.
My name is Liz. I was a nurse over 40 years, and I'm still working in the hospital. Balance of nature is the first thing I do when I wake up in the morning.
My name is Barbara, and I'm a registered nurse, and I take balance of nature. I really love gardening. I love being outdoors, and I love watching things grow. I believe in balance of nature, and I really love it.
I love gardening. I go out every day, and I like getting dirty. When I first came here, the backyard was more or less barren, and I sort of filled it in with all the plants that I love, and I love seeing them grow. Balance of nature has made a big change around. I don't feel 87 years old. I feel like a kid inside.
Happy New Year! Our limited time offer is extended. Get 35% off plus a free fiber and spice supplement with your first order as a return customer by using discount code FOXNEWS.
Live look right now at a New York City courthouse where suspects in the beating of 2 police officers near a migrant shelter are expected to face a judge. Many police officers are standing in that courtroom. They want to see how this plays out. And look at this. One of the other suspects giving the media 2 middle fingers as he walked out, went free, no bail. That's the way it works here in New York City and a lot of other cities around the country. So here's the surveillance of the actual attack. You can see this swarm kicking and punching these police officers in this video. That was Saturday night in Times Square. They say that they were trying to break up a disorderly crowd near the migrant shelter. So let's swing it over to San Diego now, where a guy says he saw this boat flooring it and landing on the beach a couple of days ago. The people on board took off, they left the boat, they washed up on the beach. No word where they went. They're migrants. They're legally. Nobody knows apparently at this point where they went. So meanwhile, senators from both parties are trying to cut a deal that would improve this situation. And former President Trump is now denying reports that he's trying to block that deal so that he can run on a terrible system and try to fix it once he's in. That would be, obviously 10 months from now at least. Watch this.
Is it true that you've told people that you don't want to see the Democrats, particularly President Biden, get a win on this?
No, I didn't say that. I did say that you have to, if you're not going to get a great
border bill and immigration bill, don't do a bill. If it's not going to be good, if it's not going to solve the border problem, don't do the bill. And that was very important to me. And a lot of people do call me, they respect me, and they say, what do you think? If the bill's not going to be a great bill and really solve the problem, I would do the bill. Not for political reasons, just for this reason.
Supreme Florida Republican Senator Marco Rubio, Vice Chairman of the Intelligence Committee and a member of the Foreign Relations Committee, endorsed former President Trump last month. Senator Rubio, good to have you with us. Thank you very much. So I guess let's start there. Is this a good bill, and is it going to fix the problem to your satisfaction, and are you supporting it?
Let's save this.
Well, first of all, we don't know what the bill is. It's not out yet, so I can't give you my opinion on a bill that isn't written, no one's read. And not just me, no one's seen it. It doesn't mean it's bad or good, it's I don't know what it is.
Excellent.
Joe Biden does not need
And we'll continue it next time. All right, boys? Take her easy.
The crisis began when he took office because on his first day in office, he wiped out all the Trump proposals. People that are coming to this country illegally